All right.
Hi everyone, we're Group A, and I'm Enrique Caracosta. The bar is Erika Nunez, and the seller is going to be Paulina Rodriguez. Today we're just going to present a situation when we're going to sell these Strobes, and the company we're representing is Lighthouse Incorporated, and we sell to the bar is the San Diego County Department of Public Works, so it's an established relationship for over the 20 years. So we sell any kind of lighting and safety equipment to San Diego County DPW. DPW is in charge of the county maintenance roads, any kind of traffic engineering, county airports, and as well as different safety securities. And this is the type of strobe we're going to sell today. The company used to use this one strobe, which is the basic one. It's just incandescent type of light and has different cables, so it's actually not working that well because it's spinning too much. And this is a new type that actually gonna request it. This is a self-ground strobe, which is gonna reduce by half the time it takes to install it. And pretty much the buyer is gonna start receiving a call from Lighthouse, and it's going to request this special strobe because it's been having problems. And so Lighthouse called because it was a customer satisfaction call. So DPW informed Lighthouse that they had this problem. So Lighthouse went to see some of their suppliers to see if any of them just build this type of a strobe. So on the second call, Lighthouse informed that actually none of their suppliers have this type of strobe, so they booked an appointment to see if they can get a customized for them.
Hey, Brenda, how are you doing?
Hey, Erica, how are you?
Good, good. Please have a seat.
Yes,
Thank you.
hey, I noticed your new Corvette. Hi, you really did a nice job fixing it up.
Thanks.
What year is it again?
Well, it's a 1957 Corvette. As you know, me and my husband are really into cars, and we've been fixing them up for a few years now. And actually, just last weekend, we entered it in a car show at the Del Mar, and it won first place. So
Really? Congratulations. You must be really proud. It has been quite a while since you've been competing, right? How long?
yeah, you know, we've been doing this for probably a good 15 years. Although I have to tell you, I think it costs more in regards to money than time.
Well, you know, everything now is time and money. And speaking of time, I remember you mentioned over the phone you needed a strobe to reduce your installation time. Does it bother you if we take some notes?
No, that's fine.
You needed a strobe to reduce your installation time. Why don't you tell me about the current equipment that you're using?
Well, currently right now we're using just your basic strobe, but as you know, with all the positive and the negative wires, I mean, it's starting to be pretty tedious when it comes to installation time. So.
Okay, what model are you using?
Right now we're using the S5750 from Baco.
Okay, I see. And on how many cars do you use this strobe?
Right now we've got it in approximately 230 of our vehicles.
230, okay. And what's the installation time?
Per strobe, we're looking at about a good hour to install each one.
1 hour. And so what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that, you know, with all the other vehicles we've got and just having these vehicles come in all the time needing this part replaced, I mean, with that hour of installation, it's just really killing us. It's really just a hassle.
Oh, I see. And what's the lifespan of one of these strobes?
Well, right now, these Baco strobes have a lifespan of 6 months to a year.
6 months to a year, okay. I assume this has an effect on your car battery.
Oh, you know what? I'm so happy that you asked because it is a really big problem for us right now. For example, you know, in an emergency, when we send our vehicles onto the site, they need to keep these strobes on. You know, they can't turn them off, but if you keep the ignition on, what's happening is that, you know, it eats up too much gas. We can't do that, so you have to turn the ignition off. But unfortunately, these strobes, they can only be lit for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you know, the strobe's dead and your car battery is dead too. So
it seems like you have more problems on your hands.
Yeah.
You also mentioned you were looking for a one-wire strobe. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about this?
Okay, well, me and some of the other mechanics got together, and we were thinking that maybe a good way to help with this installation problem would be to have a strobe made that would only have, the single wire, something that would be self-ground.
Oh, okay, I see. And what is the cost of one of these strobes and the time it takes to install?
Well, right now, each strobe is costing us $75 each, and for the hour of installation, it's $80.
$75 and $80 to install. That's a lot of money. And how many strobes per vehicle do you use?
Well, on average, we've got 2 per vehicle, but right now, we've actually, some of our cars have more.
Well, what if I could provide you with a strobe that could reduce your installation cost? Would you be interested in hearing?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Well, and furthermore, what if I could provide you with a strobe that could reduce the time you replace your strobe and the time it takes you to install? Would you be interested in this?
Yeah, if you could reduce my cost and, the number of times I'm having to replace these, including how long it takes to install them, I'd be very interested.
Well, we have the ability to provide you with a self-grounded strobe. Now, imagine this combined with lights that have a lifespan of 5 years. Wouldn't you think that this would be beneficial in the way you handle your current situation?
Well, could you explain that a little more?
Well, because this strobe I'm offering has LED technology, what this means to you, less replacement, so therefore less cost. Wouldn't you consider this beneficial to you?
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit more about it?
Well, sure. Let's go back to your example when you said you were in an emergency and you left your strobes on and your battery off. Well, LED technology offers superior light. What this means is that in case of this emergency, you would have enough battery from your car to lit the strobe for, let's say, 5 days compared to 30 minutes. I think you can get the idea of the enormous advantage of this technology.
Well, I'm still a little iffy.
Will you allow me to demonstrate you this?
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, here I have a prototype of LED technology versus your incandescent light. On my right is an LED, and on my left is incandescent. After I turn these on, you tell me what you see.
Well, I noticed that the one on the right turns on a little faster than the one on the left, and it's also quite a bit brighter.
Well, exactly. This is the difference I was talking to you about. Can you see it?
Well, I see the difference, but what does this mean for me?
Well, although LED technology shines brighter than incandescent light, it uses 10 times less power than incandescent, and plus doesn't heat up, so it makes it more durable. I imagine you can picture the benefits now.
Well, it's starting to sound pretty good.
And plus, do you see how LED bulbs have, LED lights have LED bulbs, so these are replaceable, and you don't have to replace the whole strobe after your light goes off. So this is beneficial for you, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty good, but does does Vico make this type of strobe? Because we've been using Vico for a really long time. My mechanics, they're really comfortable with it. They know the ins and outs. And I'm just not too interested in having to change to some other brand.
I realize, Erica, where your hesitations come from, and much of our customers have felt the same way. But although LED technology is only offered by Echo, and last year, San Francisco County switched to LED lights, and they've been saving thousands in money.
Wow, and they have a lot more vehicles than we do.
They do, right?
Yeah, but okay, here's a question for you then. If these lights are so great, why is Lighthouse selling other kinds of lights too versus, because you guys aren't just selling these great LED lights, it's just selling the other kinds of lights.
Well, Lighthouse also offers these other products because they want to have a variety for their customers. But we for sure, for us front, we always offer the best technology, and therefore it's the best technology. And plus, Echo has the ability to customize the strobe just to meet your specific needs.
Okay, well, it sounds pretty good, but what are we talking about in regards to cost here? Because unlike San Francisco County, San Diego County, we have a budget. So, what am I looking at here?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a very understandable question, and it is good because I can further show you how LED technology can offset the price.
Okay, how's it?
Remember you just said, I wrote down here, $75 per strobe plus $80 to install times 2 strobes per car times 230 cars, right? So that would be $71,000 per year, right? Compared to LED technology, which is $200 per strobe plus $40 to install. Remember, it's half the installation time times 2 strobes per car on average times your 230 vehicles. That would be close to $100,000 per year. That's only your total.
Wow, but, I mean, you're talking about a $200 strobe. I mean, you're adding over $30,000 a year to my cost. I mean,
This is the best part. Remember, LED technology only has a lifespan of 5 years. So if you break it down for 5 years, you would, see here, you would end up paying $20,000 per year only compared to your $70,000.
Wow.
You would be saving close to $50,000 per year.
well, sounds good. I mean, in some years, when I replace them more than once, I'm actually spending close to like $140,000 a year. So.
Even better, you would end up saving $100,000 per year.
Wow, that's like 2 new Corvettes.
Well, see?
Well, it sounds really good, and I'm interested in this LED technology, but, I still have a few questions, and concerns.
Okay, please do ask.
Well, you talked about replaceable bulbs. Sounds a little complicated. The BICO that I'm using now is great. It's just one kind of, little gadget. I install it, I'm set. I don't have to worry about all these other parts. So, it's just inconvenient.
That's exactly why you should buy it. Think about it. When your light goes off, you have to replace the whole strobe. And with LED, you only have to replace one little bulb. I'm sure it's less costly than your $75 strobe, right?
Okay, well, what is it going to cost me? How much are these little bulbs going to come out to?
This is the best part of LED technology. They are covered under a 5-year warranty.
Well, I'm not too sure. I think I'll just think it over and maybe get back to you.
Well, may I know what's holding you back? We can discuss it, right?
Well, what about delivery time? Let's talk time here. How long is it going to take Echo to produce this customized strobe and deliver it to me?
When do you need them?
Well, I have to do maintenance on 230 vehicles within the next month. I get the first batch Monday of 50 cars, and the remaining 180 vehicles are going to come within the next 3 weeks. So,
what if I could provide you the first 50 strobe on Monday, and the following Monday, the 180 remaining? Would we have an agreement?
Yes, you can get it from me by Monday. We have a deal.
Okay. Well, will you be using your P card, or will accounting take care of it?
Let's just do the P card. It's always easier. We know each other.
50, 180. And here, please.
Okay. Great.
And next time, I'll try and come by the Del Mar Car Show.
Great. I'll let you know. Really good seeing you, Paulina, as always. Thank you for everything.